You remember the term Monday morning quarterbacking? Well, thanks to the technology and to a dedicated developer and coder, we can now be armchair or off-season general managers because there is a platform that allows you to make all of the off-season moves, whether it be signings, extensions, trades, cuts, and a draft simulator so you can do all of the off-season activities. And let's go through it together today on Sports Chicago Style.
Sports, 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 Chicago style for me and you.
Hello, welcome to Sports Chicago Style. Triple R here. And today I thought I'd share with you a walkthrough that I'm doing for the content of the channel here at Sports Chicago Style, aka Triple R SCS. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and do that. For the finest of the Chicago Bears content as well as other Chicago sports. But today we're broadening out for this tool, this platform that was developed by known on Twitter as Football Stats Guy at StickToTheModel, which I'll link here on the screen. But they, he, them have been developing this tool that was introduced on February the 4th. So they are still making upgrades, making uh, changes, where necessary. Excuse me, based on user feedback. So, being that it is new and we are coming into the football off season where all of the excitement happens of the drama that isn't on the field, I thought, hey, let's go through it together. So, without further ado, let's talk it through on the excuse me on the actual screen here. So, as you can see, we are at sticktothemodel.com. And they have, let's see, draft, betting, fantasy, players, teams, content, and pricing. Then they have the side menu over here of the same. You can go pro and then log out. You get to be start a GM. Let's click there. And being a Bears fan, let's go with the Bears. Now, this is a free experience here. 3 out of 3 uses left today, so you get to use it 3 times for free. That's how they get you. And then you got to pay for it. All right, so let's click here for the Bears. And then all right, on the screen here, atop, you have the top left here. You can see the cursor. There we go. Chicago Bears 2026 offseason. What is this? Nose tackle, offensive tackle, safety, edge, outside linebacker, 3 tech, cornerback, wide receiver, inside linebacker, and running back. Seems to be positions that they're suggesting we need. We have selected teams, so we are in cap management now. Further down the line, we have trades, free agency, and the draft and the summary. Now you can, once you get to free agency, you can go back to trades and cap management, but once you get to the draft, there is no going back. All right, so we can look at the Bears. Da Bears. All right, quarterback. Iceman, Caleb Williams, he's good to go. Tyson Bagent's good. Pending free agent, Case Keenum. And so you can make the decisions here. Caleb Williams, we can extend him, which we do not want to do right now. This gives all the information, his age, his cap hit, His new cap hit for 2027, if extended, extend only, and all of the information, contract breakdown, new cap hit of 31 million. Yeah, we don't want to do that because he does have 2 years left on the deal, so cancel out of that. We can restructure contracts. We don't want to do this with Caleb Williams because we're only saving $500,000, so it's not worth it. And then we can also cut, which we don't want to do. So those are the options here that we can do per player with the information of the player, 24 years old, second year, excuse me. All right, let's go to running back. Now, I'm not going to get into the weeds of it all, but we are going to make some moves. And we're going to cut DeAndre Swift because that will save a cap of 7.4 million, and right here in the top right we have a negative cap of 5.3 that we're over in the red in the top right here. And then also on the screen you can click on the bar in the top right and you can see the team depth chart. Quarterback, running backs on down. You see Swift is still here right now because I haven't made any moves on him. But on down, then defense. And what's really cool about this, the defensive scheme, what your team runs between a 3-4 and a 4-3. Now, Bears run a 4-3, so this is what we're focused on. But if they did run a 3-4, this is how the players would be deployed. So I think one of the cool upgrades would be if they did it on offense as well, because right here we see 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end. I think this just has all the personnel on there. All right. So when you want to see the depth chart after you make moves, it's up there. All right. So Swift, let's go ahead and make a move. Let's cut him, and we see it the reflection in the cap here, which we're now on board 2 million. Let's take a look at the depth chart, go to running back, and he is no longer listed there. So it is an immediate reflection. Now the rest of the running back room, Roshan Johnson, he can go too, saves another $1 million. So we need to address the running back room in free agency and or the draft. All right, moving up to wide receivers. Rome Odunze, DJ Moore, Luther Burden III, Jade Walker. All right, DJ Moore is a point of contention because of the salary, $28.3 million. That's the most on the team, and so we got to do something along those lines. Because looking at just all. Sort by salary, and let's go cap savings, years left, position, or by the name. Let's go by cap savings. What does that look like? All right, cap savings. Tremaine Edmonds, Cole Kmet, Jalen Johnson, Montez Sweat, Jonah Jackson. And then you can search by the other parameters, years left. So you got that search feature. All right, there we go. All right, now back to making moves. Now, under contract, you only got 2 safeties, cornerbacks, Tyreek Stevenson, Deshaun Wright, Jalen Johnson, Kyler Gordon on down. All right, so let's make some moves. All right, we did the running back room, wide receiver. This is not realistic. Well, it is realistic. That's kind of the point. But it's not real life, so let's just make some moves once we get to trades. But right now, we know we want to keep it more in there. Here, we don't have to, but we want to now just to use it. Let's extend right tackle Darnell Wright. He's 24 years old, has a cap hit of $6.7 million, 1 year left. Now we want to extend and restructure. Now that will save us a little less than $1 million, and it will increase the cost by 7.4 million. So, do we want to extend and structure? Well, can we afford it? We can't afford it right now because we only got 3 million in cap. So we can't extend them. We can possibly use the 5th-year option. Is that a thing here? No, that is not a thing here right now. That's a little too in the weeds, I think. All right, so edge-wise, who makes money here? Montez Sweat, 25 million. Dio, 20 million. But now, as far as restructuring or extending, certain players are not good candidates for that, even though they could, save you money. Let's say Joe Tooney, Protector of the Year, awesome. Let's not extend him, but let's restructure him, and that will save us 7 million. There are no more void years, so it turns into a bonus. We will do that. Don't have to worry about the math because it's not real, and we want to keep it moving. All right, so now we have 10 million in the kitty. All right, offensive line wise, can we extend? Do we want to extend Jonah Jackson? You'll save 9 million. He's only 28 years old. Let's go ahead and do that just to do it. Kiran Amagaji, if you cut him, you save 1 million. But we're not going to do that. We want to see if we can trade him in a minute. All right, so Edge, Sweat, he's 29. He's getting up there. Now, but if you restructure him, you save 9.8 million. Let's go ahead and do that. Now we have $30 million in cap space. Deo, you don't want to extend or restructure right now, I don't think. Because you could save 7 million, but let's hold off right now. Defensive line, Jarrett Williams Turner. Now Chris Williams. Nope, can't do him in a financial sense because if you cut him, it would cost you 23 million and a cap savings another negative 12. So yeah, that's not good financially. All right, now linebacker Tremaine Edmonds. If you cut him, you save 14 million, or do you extend and it still saves you 5 million? And he's a good linebacker. Let's do that. And so you don't have a hole there. Amen. Abambimiga. He's a little older. Special teams guy only. Save you 2 million. Let's go ahead and cut him there. Noah Sewell. He's still on the younger side. Let's see what we can do him. TJ's on the older side, but you don't want to extend him. Can you restructure him without adding void years? You save 3 million. Turn it into a bonus. We'll do that. And let's see, DeMarco Jackson, we do want to extend and restructure for 4 years. And it'll cost you 700 grand more. But we are good at linebacker there. Cornerback. All right, Tyreek Stevenson, Nashawn Wright is probably going to be lost to free agency. Jalen Johnson is a $24 million cap hit, but we're going to have some fun with him as well. All right, so that was just a real down and dirty, nitty gritty in the cap management. We made 3 cuts, which you can check out here, of DeAndre Swift, Amen, and Roshan there. And then we click up there. We restructured 3 players of Tooney, Sweat, and Edwards. Then we extended 3 players, Jackson, Edmonds, and Jackson again, linebacker. All right, so we have $40 million in cap space up here. When we look at our depth chart, we need a running back. We're going to need a replacement for Duvernay. So that's wide receiver. And left tackle is still a thing because of injury and such. All right, defense, you're going to need edge and some linebacker support. All right, let's see what we can do by going to our next off-season activity of trades. Now, what's we're looking here at offers. Let's see, like Philadelphia wants Cole Kmet. We send them Kmet, and they send back pick number 54 over here is where that says that. That's an 80%, I guess, return. You can dismiss the offer there with that X. Arizona offers Michael Wilson, wide receiver, who would cost $16 million. We would send them pick 89 and pick 129. And we get, yeah, we ain't doing that. We know that. Well, we ain't doing none of these, really, truth be told. Yeah, because we want to keep him. Let's see. New York Jets offers Harrison Phillips a nose tackle. Huh. And we send them pick 163. He's an aging vet. Now, you can click on details. Let's see, trade analysis. Nice little feature. Reasonable compensation that both teams might consider. Excellent value balance. Addresses team needs. But cap space is blocked on whose side? Because we got $30 million. And we should be able to accept it if we wanted it. But do we want to give up 163 for an aging defensive lineman? No. Dexter Lawrence, pick number 57. No, thank you. And so these are the offers. They want Cole Kmet. They're offering an inside linebacker for 57. That's expensive. Minnesota. Oh, hell no. All right, so we want none of the trades that are being offered, but let's test out the feature of building our own. Okay, now let's get jiggy with it. We want to add a player, and let's search players by position. We're going to cornerback. And it says very unlikely. I don't know if that's because of the salary cap or hit, but he's getting clicked on anyway. Now, the salary cap still says a negative in the bare space, even though it says positive up here. So I don't know. We'll get to that. Now, on the opposing side, team needs next to the team here says cornerback. Now, it would be cool if, like in, what was that, NBA, like 2K, where you just click on a player on your roster and click find trades, and it would generate all of the teams that want to trade for said player with their offers, and you take it from there. Here, you just kind of got to click on here on each team, scrolling through the teams to see what their needs are. Like the commies need an edge and running back, excuse me. All right, let's go back to the Jets because they needed cornerback. And we want a player, let's say. So you can look at their roster by position and by rating. Let's see, what is the rating one? By salary. Let's see, so their cornerback, Jarvis Brownlee's making $21 million. Because you want to keep the trades somewhat balanced, right? But we don't really know that because we're just kind of doing it. So just to pick a guy, let's just go with Mozzie Smith, a defensive tackle. That's what we need, right? On the Bears. But it's saying offer this trade, and basically they will accept it. But now I think there is a flaw in the system because if we added a pick and we added their number 2 pick, they will accept it. If we added another pick and the number 16 overall, they would accept it. So that's obviously, cheating. but it does not tell you here the value of Jalen Johnson. Like there should be a number here, but I don't see it for some reason. That's post June 1st. And this is a pre June 1st. That's getting in there. Let's see. I don't know. Does it mean offer this bar? But there used to be or there was, I remember seeing a number in here, a value, and there was a corresponding value on this side, and you would get them close. But let's just do this. But no, we don't want to do that. We want to, let's go pick number 44. Let's take him off there. Now let's just offer trade, and it's accepted. So the trade values are unbalanced right now, and I think, that will get honed in, going forward. Now, because we traded Jalen Johnson for a draft pick, we didn't incur any cap. Actually, we gained cap space. Now we're up to $65.5 million. And if we want to go backwards to cap management, we can. And then we look at any other moves you want to make. You're good right now. All right, so remember, there's still that contract of 28 million out there that we have to work with if necessary. And then taking a look at the depth chart, because we just made that trade on defense, that lessens what you have on the roster at cornerback, and there's still no safeties on the roster. All right, so let's go. This is cap management. Go to next. So we're back to trades. Excuse me. Let's just do a different trade to where, let's go Tyreek Stevenson, cornerback. We need to find another team that needs a cornerback, and there's no quick way to search that, it doesn't seem. So let's see if we can trade him with a team that does not have a need for that position. And now if we add a pick, see, offer in range. So I do not think the value of Stevenson would equate to that pick. So yeah, the values are off. This is one of those things like in Madden, if you wanted to trade for a premium player, you go in and you change his position to like kicker, and then you trade him and sign him. So let's just go 213 and offer the trade, and it's agreed to, but reluctantly. But they did it. And so now we have 69.6 million in the cap, in the green. And right now we don't want to do any more trades, so we go to next, and we can go to free agency. Now, RFA tenders, restricted free agency. We need to choose a tender, and we want the 3.5 million, the second rounder of 5.8 million, or the first round tender offer of 8.1 million. We'll just go with the regular tenders for depth and special teams demon Daniel Hardy, defensive end, and left guard Jordan McFadden for offensive depth. Confirm those, costing us $7 million, reducing the cap down to 62. Now, pending free agents, of which there are 23 to be decided on re-signing. All right, let's see. Jaquan Brisker, safety, let him go. Let's re-sign Kevin Byard, make an offer, a 2-year deal of $7.3 million, leaving confirmed signing. He took it, cool. And then we look back at our depth chart on defense. Kevin Byard, free safety, signed in free agency, but it wasn't an extension. I guess it was a re-signing. Whatevs. All right, Chauncey Gardner Johnson, no big dollar bill, no. Let's $2 million. Let's bring back Joe Tryon Shoyinka. There you go. Just a little depth there on the line. Lamde Zacchaeus, Braxton Jones, Dominique Robinson. Now the contract amounts for the signings, the re-signings, and or free agency are not right. I don't believe. Um, aren't valued correctly because 4.6 million, he or 2.3 million, whatever the actual number is. Nashawn Wright's going to get a hell of a lot more than that. Let's see. Based on 6 comparable contracts, a nice little feature if you click on the contract amount under their name. Let's see. 2.3 is projected high. Yeah. Similar Ladarius Need, Mike Hughes. So comparables, projection adjustments, age, skill, market blend. So there's some cool details in here. The numbers still ain't right. But yeah. Uh, Moving on. Let's scroll through and we'll replace all of these players in the draft. We want to re-sign a long snapper there. And so, looking at the depth chart, need a running back, need another wide receiver slash returner, offensive lineman. That would be nice at left tackle. And then defensively, the interior of the defensive line. Make sure you're in 4-3 and not 3-4. There we go. And linebackers. Why is he in here twice? Okay, I guess that's the formation. Left inside linebacker, right inside linebacker. Okay, it's just throwing me off there. All right, a little double take there. All right, and then left cornerback, right cornerback. All right, he's in there twice. All right, so we need 3 safeties. What is that? 2 linebackers, defensive end. Yeah, something like that. All right, so let's search by all in our free agency here. And let's go to defensive line. See what we're looking at. All right, scroll up here. All right, here are the pending free agents of Billings and Williams. But if we do not re-sign them, we look at the free agents. Now you got some exclusive rights guys down here. You got some restricted players. Then you have others who are available. So we scroll down. Let's go to John Franklin Myers. 13 million. Ooh, pricey. Let's just sign him. 2-year deal. I don't know if he would actually take this IRL, but guess what? This isn't IRL and he took it. Yay! Stick to the model. All right, we're down to 37 million in cap space. On defense, now that signing is reflected on our depth chart, updated here with the free agent signing of John Franklin Myers. Cool. Now let's just take a look at edge because that is a position of need. Now Trey Hendrickson is due to hit the market, expected to make 21 mil. So we could afford him here if we wanted to pay that much. You got your other free agents at the position: Malcolm Kuntz, Joseph Asai, Al Quidin Muhammad, Kwity Paye, and on and on. Let's see how much, and we still got to look at possible cornerback and safety. You know, the money goes fast when you want to be the armchair GM. Yes, it does. Let's see, Flott 23 million. Let's see, Jalen was making over 25, so we can save there. He's our tender. Hey, here's a nice 9 million. Josh Jobe just won a Super Bowl. We'll bring him into the fold. Checking our depth chart on defense. Now we got Jobe there. Obviously, he would be starting, but that's not important right now. You know, the order of rankings or ratings or starters versus second stringers and such. Now let's take a look at safeties before we hit the draft. And let's see, because we have to replace Brisker, Chauncey Gardner Johnson, Elijah Hicks, and Owens, because you see your free agents, by position. Do we have any offensive line free agents? We do. Braxton Jones, Stromberg, Bates. And these are the league free agents, of which, they say maybe Rasheed Walker is a good fill in. I don't think so. So, do you, in the Bears position, do you roll with a 1 year kind of guy like, let's say, a Cam Robinson? I think we do that just for a little depth on the offensive line of the veteran variety. Now we look back at our depth chart as we are down to 25 million in cap space. Offensive line, left tackle Cam Robinson. That looks a little more solidified with these couple of free agent signings. All right, in defense, let's take a look at linebacker and safety, shall we? Linebacker, we are losing Jalen Reeves-Maven and Ty Summers, both of which were really special teams guys. But you can get your Devin Bush and on down of the free agents. Let's go with a Leo Chenal, shall we? And we afford him? We can, and we shall. But that only leaves 12 million in the kitty. And looking at the depth chart, we could use a little more money. So let's go backwards in time. Not with the TARDIS, but back to cap management. And let's go to wide receiver. And let's go back to DJ Moore and let's restructure him, saving another 16.7 million, bringing us back to 28.7. All right, a little more room there as we take a look at some free agents. Oh, you got to go to next and then next. Running backs. Running back. Maybe a little Breece Hall, Kenneth Walker, Rico Duato. Hey, let's go with another Super Bowl winner. You don't want to sign an expensive or running back at all? Don't. You can use this model and not sign a free agent running back or other free agents. You can trade for one, or you can just continue to the draft and do what you got to do. So now looking at our needs, running back is crossed off, middle linebacker is crossed off, cornerback is crossed off, leaving the needs of nose tackle, offensive tackle. We need another one, I guess. Edge, 3-tech, wide receiver, and guard. Now, we don't have much money to spend. Let's just take a real quick look. Any guards that would be economicable? They are listed by just O-line in general, I guess. Interior O-line, yeah, they're all mixed up offensive line. Let's go with the draft. We only got 18 million to spend. Oh, you got to have the rookies, and you got to have expenses for free agents during the season. So I think teams want to budget about 10 to 15 million for expenses. Let's just rock there, and let's just go to the draft, because once we go to the draft, can't make any other changes, but we got enough money. It's not negative. So let's keep it moving, because we've made 3 cuts, 2 trades, and 8 signings. Let's go to full draft. The draft speed is a little bit slower there, but you can maneuver this to instant But let's just go right in the middle there to give it a little time so we can see what's happening. All right, now we're in the draft. This is cool layout that they got going here. These are on the left side of the screen here. The teams that are on the board, these are all the teams. It looks like you can click on individually and as many as you want groupings to see where they're picking and after they pick what players. If you want to see your picks and players, you click here. So the Bears have a first rounder at pick 25, and then 44, 57, 89, 129, 163, 213, 30, 39, and 241. So that's 3, 6, 9 picks. And then once you're done, you have a stats for your draft and analysis, and then you can share it as a whole. We'll get to that directly. All right, so once we are ready, but before we do that, as far as the players' prospects, you click on the player position here, and it brings up a little bio, like Mr. Mendoza here, 6'5", 225, scouting report, strengths, weaknesses, and I'm sure as the pre-draft activities gear up with the combine and pro days, maybe these will be updated as they go along. And then the rankings here are all, and then you got the interior offensive line. These are just the generic rankings, and I'm not really going into specific players, like the dogs or the scheme fits, because I really don't know. There is nothing that says, like outside zone, inside zone, what players would fit better in which scheme. So that's just going to be something that we do by the numbers. So you can see the players here. You can click on them there. That's pretty cool. You can search by name. Pretty nifty. All right, so let's get this party started. Now, if you want to go to the trade center, let's see, you want to trade up for pick number 1. And so let's click there, and we will give you 25. Offer 230. No. Let's see. We'll give you 44. And a first round next year. And see, the bar is coming up, but they are not interested yet. It would take a whole lot to get them interested. Your offer trade value. That's what I'm talking about right here. When I was speaking about trade values, it tells you over here we've offered 697, and their value is 1,000 for the first pick. All right, so let's come off of the first pick, and like the third pick, they're taking that. Yeah, definitely. Like for the second pick, they would take that. Yeah, obviously. And then you can force trades here, like in most other video games. But we don't want to do that. So let's just start this party. So the AI picks on the left. And then now that the Bears are on the clock at 25, you see who's on the board. You can scroll up to see who's been picked. But there are trade offers being offered. Now, I don't know the randomness of the offers, just like in the other trade screen. Do all the same teams always want all the same players? Don't know. And will all the teams want the same offers for pick number 25? But these offers are like from the Bengals, they get 25, the Bears get 41, and then you click on it, and it's a future second rounder. And then it gives you a fair trade, offer 231, 230, difference of 1 point. Yeah, don't want to do that, though. Minnesota is offering a trade with a second rounder of 106. And no thank you. And then Tennessee to go back to 35. And let's do this one just to do it. Accept a trade. All right, so we accept a trade. Then we want to pause. Wait, no, too late. We're already here. So start it because I wanted to stop it to offer a trade. We'll do that in a minute. All right, there are other offers. Move back 4 spots for a third rounder, and then move back there for that in 82. Let's not, and say we did. All right, on the board, let's see, needs, nose tackle, offensive tackle, safety, edge, outside linebacker. So you got 5 needs, and the rest is gravy. All right, so on the board, safety, 3 tech, offensive tackle, inside linebacker like this. Ian Cantor, is he a right tackle or left tackle? I think he's a right tackle. Raw, tantalizing offensive prospect, athletic background, developmental lineman, born in Nigeria, Los Angeles. A lot of information. All right, here we go. At Arizona State, started 14 games at right tackle in 24 and 5 during an injury-plagued. Done. Close. All right, so out of our needs and out of the availabilities, let's just go D-line. Christian Miller or Dominique Orange. Some would say it's a reach to take 67 when we're picking at 35. Oh, well, we're going to take Big Citrus for good things. And it's not really about the player, it's just about taking the guy. Now we are back on the board at 44. You can see our picks there. You took Orange after a trade. Now in 44. There we go. Now, needs. Oh, let's go back to all on the player-wise. Now, offensive tackle still there. But he is a right tackle. Let's see. Tiernan is just say something about left tackle. Oh, there it is. Brought on the position switch to left tackle Ironman status. So we will be taking the tackle there. Boom. All right, that's done. All right, let's pause because we're right now at pick 52. The next pick is 57, but trade. Let's see. So trade with Tennessee. We want pick 52, and we'll give you 57 and 163. They would probably take it, maybe. 4-point difference in value. So that's how trades are working here. Do we want to trade up? Not particularly, but just want to see how that worked on here. So back to start. So back on the board. Safety, edge, outside linebacker. Edge is right there. Let's go with that one. All right, so edge is done. And while they are picking our next pick, 89, then 129, then 163. All right, need safety, outside linebacker, 3 tech cornerback. And let's take a look at our depth chart. We got the running back taken care of. Still need the wide receiver returner. You addressed offensive line. Defense, linebackers, and safeties, and a cornerback. So with that said, on the board, you got a linebacker, you got a safety, you got a 5 tech, 3 tech. Let's go with 3 tech with Halton there. You know, what players would you draft? Hey, it's all customizable. It's all up to you because you are the damn GM. All right, now, still need a safety. See, it tells you here in the on the left side here where the Bears are: safety, outside linebacker, cornerback, and then safety outside. Oh, so it tells you 2 places. Okay. All right, so with that said, safety, outside linebacker, cornerback. Let's take the safety right there. Kilgore. Let's see. So we've taken one tech in orange, tackle in Tiernan, offensive tackle. Edge and Young, three tech in Halton, safety Kilgore. All right, so that leaves us needing outside linebacker and a cornerback with 4 picks remaining. So outside linebacker, cornerback. Let's go down to the next one. Here's a cornerback. We are picking at 163. And the next cornerback, or the next down, is 173. It's a 10-person reach. Oh, well. We got that one. Just. And then it scrolls on through. Now, remember, the speed of the draft is also customizable, be a little bit slower or instant. All right, we need an outside linebacker, and we got 3 picks left: 213, 239, and 241. So we can go directly to linebacker, and how's his name? Namidi Obayazor. Yeah, him. And then you can scroll down to whatever player it is that you want that's still available, obviously. So let's take the outside line. Wait, that was at the. Oh, that wasn't at the top. My bad. Namidi. The top outside linebacker on the board now is Caleb Elarms or welcome aboard. Right. So now that takes care of all the needs for the Bears. And we got 2 picks left. So we can see the so far we have a B plus draft grade based on team needs. So we do have to replace the wide receiver special teams, and that is designated by the WRS, which is over here. So Hank, was this Beatty, who's 5'11", 185. He's a dynamic wide receiver with good speed, route running potential. This combination of athleticism, hands, football IQ makes him effective in various offensive concepts. Beatty demonstrates developing route running technique and the ability to create separation. He shows hands, good body control in traffic. Versatility allows him to contribute multiple roles while developing skill set, speed, athleticism. Versatility, don't say nothing about returns. Weaknesses, route precision inconsistent. Needs to add strength. Contested catch ability is limited. Blocking assignments need work. I need somebody that says returns. Let's see. Wet Gen. Caden from Iowa. Electric return specialist. Sold. All right. So remember, this is not always realistic with the not only with the contract amounts for free agency, with the needs and trade tendencies for other teams, but also with the rankings of these prospects. Just because who is this? Marlon Klein is 182 on here, don't mean he's gonna be that in real life, or in the next mock, because I don't know the randomness of these. So, does the computer pick the same players every time in that order? Are the same trades offered every time? I don't know. Play with a little bit and check it out. So now with the last pick, let's just grab a developmental tight end. Boom, done. And so that finishes it up. And overall, let's see. Off-season grade, A minus. Holla at your boy. Our cap health is 22 out of 25. I got 18 million, and that's not good enough. I guess it has to be in the green. Doesn't really define it or say what it needs to be to get a better grade. Needs filled, 24 out of 30. I don't know what other needs I need to fill. It doesn't specify. Future outlook, 10 out of 20. Does that mean future picks? Does that mean long term contracts? Don't know what that means. And roster moves, 25 out of 20. I guess that just means making the moves. You improve the cap by cutting 3 players, restructuring 4 contracts, extending 3 players. The biggest move was releasing DeAndre Swift, saving 7.4 million. Placed RFA tenders on Hardy McFadden. Traded Jalen Johnson to the New York Jets in exchange for pick 44. Traded Tyreek Stevenson to Pittsburgh in exchange for pick 213. In free agency, made 8 signings. Headlined by Leo Chenal, linebacker, 13.6 million a year. In the draft, you selected Dominique Orange. With your first pick, your 2026 cap is tight at 18 million. Your restructures added 83 million in future dead money risk. Maybe that's what the future is not as healthy because of the dead money. So then it gives you an on-screen here updated depth chart, with the added players, even though I don't see all of the added players. I mean, looking at the depth chart, right? This offense. See this Kenneth Walker over here on the pop-up depth chart, but on the on-screen summary at running back, he's not there. I don't know. And there are no other running backs. So this is not a fully updated depth chart. There is a free agent there. There's a rookie there. Wait, let me go to 4-3. There we go. Wait, that's still... What? There's Wetgen there. Yeah, I'm looking at it, and I'm not seeing all of the additions. Safety needed another one of those. Probably didn't address it. But whatevs. It's kind of confusing because I don't see him there. But if you click on that depth chart, it's there. But this one is not. I don't know. Maybe it's some kind of bug. All right, but it continues to summarize with the cap summary, with the ceiling of 300 million, the rollover, and all of these stats, freed up by cuts and all of the moves and how the all added up to the final space. Future debt money of 83 million, off-season moves, 3 players cut, 4 contracts restructured, and on and on. Then it lists the cuts here, restructures there, and how much is saved. Contract extensions there, and how much saved by doing that. Here are the trades. And then saved money because of that outgoing. And then your RFA tenders and your free agent signings, which are deductions from the cap, and the draft picks. And then you right there, you can start a new session. But another cool thing about this is you can copy a summary to the clipboard. You can copy just the draft picks, or you can share as image. And it's like, well, when you share as image, it's shared. Now, what did it download? I think it downloaded. And then you can what's the word I'm looking for? Then you can share it like on your social medias. And I'm sure that one day soon that they will incorporate the let's say the betting aspect of it the betting tab that we saw here on the screen here, and whoever has the total match of the off season that their team actually does in real life, wins some kind of pot. But you got to match it, move for move. From the cuts to the restructures to the extensions, trades, tenders, signings, and draft picks. Kind of like a Final Four, but different. NFL GM kind of thing. But yeah, so this is the pretty cool tool here with the stick to the model. And remember to check out the stat guy there on Twitter. As now I want to share with you, if I can locate it. Here we go. The downloaded version that we shared is right. Is this it? Oh, it is. So if you download it, let's go back there. There we go. Now you see Chicago be a GM summary, A minus, 31 moves, and it gives the summary that we just saw there on the screen. But this is a PNG file, so you can upload it to your social medias. It's in a nice tight format, and you can show how good of a armchair GM you are, or open yourself up for ridicule where like, yeah, that's not realistic. And so shout out to the devs, the developers, as this is something really fun. And I think I read someplace that they want to expand to other leagues, baseball, basketball, hockey, all of that, and do it with them. So we, a few tweaks here, a little stuff there. This is gonna be an awesome, awesome, tool to, just get an idea of what it's like to do the job and run a front office. Uh, so the content creators have a good time with it, as the off season's a long time in the NFL, and this stick to the model, you know, tool can be a fun experience to have. So, hope you try it out for yourself and share with me your experiences. And once again, a shout out to the football stats guy for sharing this with us. All right, so glad you watched, and hope you got some fun, some excitement, some enjoyment out of it, and you will get some fun, excitement, and enjoyment out of it. All right, so until next time, y'all be easy.